Hi there, I'm Patricia with Willow Grace Mystic. So I wanted to share a video that talks a little bit more about each of the houses as it pertains to astrology. So remember that the house position of the planet shows where the energy is focused, basically where the action is. So to determine your first house, you're going to need your exact date, time, and location of birth. So let's dive in. So the first house, it's often referred to as the house of self. The mode is angular and it is generally cardinal fire energy. Planetary dignity is Aries, Mars. So the first house is commonly known as the house of self. It's home to Mars and the zodiac rulership. And in astrology, the first house is the angular house or the cardinal house that represents the identity of action, or it governs the realm of our self-identity, the image that we project out into the world. The first house, it concerns with the first impressions of the persona, of how it relates and how we take action. It is how we approach new situations, new opportunities. It's associated with our physical appearance, our movement, our personal expression. People who have a strong emphasis on their first house, they may exhibit a heightened preoccupation with themselves and their own self-interests that can make them sometimes appear as self-absorbed by others. The first house in astrology, it points to the qualities that make us unique individuals. It portrays our sense of style of dress, our physical attributes, our personal goals, our priorities. It relates to the ego and our natural impulses and instincts. The astrology sign that's occupying the first house in the birth chart is also known as the ascendant or the rising sign. So knowing your exact time of birth is crucial and necessary for determining your rising sign because it changes every couple of hours. The rising sign, it signifies the characteristics that you tend to express as part of your outer persona, which might explain why some people just don't seem to act like their sun sign. It can also be referred to as your ego for how you want to be perceived. So in contrast, the sun sign represents the core of your identity. It encompasses all your vulnerabilities, all your flaws, and what you are learning to compensate for or learn to master in this lifetime. Now, because the first house is so personal in nature, it can be difficult to read for some astrologers. We look to the first house to pick up on trends or cycles, also the state of health and the vitality of how the person is when you study it in conjunction with the sixth house. The strength and nature of an individual's determination and willpower is also indicated by the first house. After you learn about your ascendant, you should read both your sun sign and your ascendant sign, whether in your horoscope for forecasts or in personality descriptions. It'll give you a really accurate picture of who you are and what you came to accomplish and be in this lifetime. Who are you? What are you meant to become? How do you evolve to be your best authentic self? The first house speaks to the actualization of your unique potential and your destiny. This process of finding ourselves and fulfilling our sense of purpose, it is one of the greatest gifts that we can give to the world. The distinctive qualities and behaviors that we express are often referred to as our personality. The first house concerns the individual and their orientation to the world. It's totality of one's existence and the package, our body, that we present to the world. The presentation of itself or our outer being, it's also governed by the first house, the physical body, the way in which we portray ourselves, and in particular, our head and our face. Now, the first house, it also pertains to your early childhood experiences. This is from your first steps to later on your opinions and your worldviews and later stages of adulthood. Everything can be accounted for in the first house. The path that you want to take, your attitude, your perspectives in life, it all begins with the first house. And it basically serves to sculpt and form who you are. Now, the house of self is the most personal and the most powerful house in your natal birth chart because it symbolizes your whole being, your mannerisms, your style, your attitude, your temperament. This is the house of your outward behavior, your preferences. The first house, it reveals both the way you present yourself to others and the way that the outward, the outside of the world tends to perceive and see you. It is often referred to as the house of self-interest. The first house encompasses what you want out of life and the manner in which you're going to go about to achieve it. It highlights your physical characteristics from your looks to your body type. I feel that the first house is the most important point in a horoscope because it orients the rest of the chart and the other astrology houses that follow. In astrology, the first house is treated as a sort of a lens through which the rest of the chart can be viewed and interpreted through. The first house speaks to the person that you are becoming and will become. It's internal and it's external. It displays our self-styled image and the roles that we choose to play in the world. It's our essential qualities, our approach in life, our demeanor. The first house in astrology reveals the dynamic between the inner self and the outer self of your body. So I hope you like this. Please hit the like and subscribe and follow the other videos. You can also contact me at willowgracemystic.com. I heart you.